The recent hard freeze and consistent freezing temperatures overnight have put a chill into most East Texans, but for some, it's very much appreciated. East Texas News Weekend's Bob Hallmark has more on why.
January and the temperatures dropped to a bone-chilling hard freeze in East Texas, complete with snow and having many deciding to stay inside.
For January, temperatures have trended a little cooler than we would typically be, but it kind of balances out because December was warmer than a typical December would be. But overall, the winter's trended a little cooler than normal.
While ice, snow, and freezing temperatures can turn grass brown and kill some plants, there is a benefit from it: chill hours.
In the winter, when these trees go dormant, especially fruit trees, temperatures that are below 45 help for those trees to create essentially like a hormone in them that will then produce budding and eventually fruit and production on that tree when we get into the spring and summer.
Peaches, for instance, require around 700 to 800 chill hours. That is the average hours of temperatures between 45 to 32 degrees every winter for a healthy crop.
They're still about 200 to 300 hours behind this year compared to last year.
45 to 32 degrees in temperature, and when the temperature raises, you are actually reducing the chill hours that you've previously had because that plant is warming up.
Although many would love a return of spring-like weather, that could be very bad for growers.
Whenever you're talking about the weather change jumping back and forth from the freezing to the warmer weather, it's actually a minus.
So a little more wouldn't be such a bad thing.
I wouldn't be surprised to see 1 or 2 more periods of cold weather where we get some more chill hours in and everyone's kind of bundled up because it's a little too cold to go outside.
Bob Hallmark, East Texas News Weekend.
According to the Texas Farmers Almanac, this winter will be colder than normal, with the coldest periods in early to mid-January, where we are, which has already happened, and also early to mid-February, just in case you thought we were out of the way. You got something to look forward to here.